What's up, guys? So today we are going to talk a little bit of draft 2021 NFL draft talk and three questions surrounding the three biggest questions surrounding it. Don't forget, guys, subscribe to my channel. And during the show, just anyone hopping on, tell me if I'm getting laggy because I don't have the greatest Wi-Fi connection. Um, we'll see what we can do about that. But for now, we're just gonna keep going, and I'll look at it after. So, let's talk NFL draft. I mean, the three biggest questions surrounding the NFL draft. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest topics that you can talk about. Oh yeah, not your average sports kid says we can't see you. Yes, I'm not going to do the cam today because of certain reasons. I think it takes up a little too much bandwidth. So sorry guys, but this is going to be more like a podcast, not where you can see me. So let's get to it. The first question that I wanted to get to is how far, like, will the Patriots pick a QB or receiver or a weapon to surround Cam Newton in the first round? This question was interesting to me because they could get a QB. I mean, it's possible. It depends who's there. The thing with what I think about this is I think that what could happen is that they see who's there. If Justin Fields drops to them, then absolutely I would take him. I would take Justin Fields and absolutely chance it. Um and if even if Mac Jones drops to you, well, maybe not Mac Jones, but even if Mac Jones drops to you, I would take him. I mean, I would really consider, yeah, taking him because he could be the next Tom Brady, whatever. Now that's one guy, but if nobody drops to you, then you get it. Even I actually, okay, scratch that thought. I would pass on Mac Jones. But if somebody like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, even Zach Wilson, but he won't drop that far, comes to you, then take him. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. You have to take him because um you have to take him. Um, but the thing with it is that I think their number one priority is the priority of you have to give Cam Newton weapons. And I think there's enough people in the second round. There's enough quarterbacks in the second round to where you can get a guy in the second round like Kellen Mond, Kyle Trask kind of guy, and you can get a guy in the second round and maybe do something with him. That was my biggest thing coming in because I'm like, well, how much better is Mac Jones than Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond? Really, not that much better. I think so. Only time will tell. I think the biggest thing is just I think really what the Patriots are going to do is they will get best player available. I believe that this is a big step for them because we saw how bad the receiving core was last year, especially. We saw how bad it was. It was awful. And so I think you go and get a guy like Terrace Marshall Jr. or Kadarius Toney, or maybe you go O-line or running back even. I mean, but running back I think you can address in the third, second round. So that was to me interesting because you surround the Cam Newton. I think their biggest need, I think this is what they'll do. They'll surround Cam Newton with a lot more weapons than they are used to having, and I really do believe that you get a guy that can that can fit the system and that can that can really make a difference on offense. Not a quarterback because quarterback isn't their biggest need right now. And I think that receiver, especially he is a beast. I mean, I really like him. He was their number one receiver last year with Jamar Chase opted out, and he fits the system. He's great. He's a great mix of size plus agility. He's really fast. Has great hands. So I like Terrace Marshall Jr. there. So let's, I guess, move on to our third biggest question. Guys, drop in the comments who you should like. What is your guys' biggest question this draft? But actually, before I move on, I want to quickly advertise draft party, April 29th, Thursday, this next Thursday, the first round. Me, my brother Joseph, I think Amin, my brother Dodie, most likely, will be all doing a draft party, and we'll be taking call-ins. We'll be taking call-ins to for people that think to know what people thinks of their team's pick. So anyone who wants to call in on draft night will call in to talk about it with us, what their team's pick was. And also we'll be also posting it this time not only on YouTube but on the Eagles, I think, fan page or something. One of the Eagles fan pages. And then we'll be also probably posting it on Joseph Camperman's profile page, Facebook page. So that'll be pretty fun. So back to our questions. Draft party, April 29th. Back to our questions. The second question that I wanted to get to is, how far will Jaycee Horn slide? This was interesting, actually, because this one I really liked just because some people rate him number one, some people rate him number three. I personally rate him number two. I like his speed, I like his bigness, but I think Caleb Farley, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but he actually came into Virginia Tech as a receiver, so he knows the position, he knows what is going on. He can read he knows what the receiver does. A lot of the times he knows the technique, he knows the position, so everything like that. So how far will Jaycee Horn slide? I believe that a lot of people, a lot of teams, this is what I've heard from a lot of people around the league. I believe that they a lot of people value Patrick Surtain as the best cornerback in the draft, and then they value Caleb Farley second. Now, that means that you're ending up with Jaycee Horn at number 3, I believe, which is I think that's either 3 or second is really the best place to get him. I do believe that I do believe that he is better than Patrick Surtain, but it's very close. Let's run through the teams who have corner needs and will most likely get one in the first round. Number 1, Giants. Number 2, Cowboys. Number 3, you could see maybe the Eagles slipping in there, but I doubt it. Number 4, you could definitely see. Sorry guys, you could definitely see the Vikings, and number 5, the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I don't know, because the Vikings really right now need to stock up on defense, but it really depends, especially with the Vikings. It depends. The Vikings, they are sitting at number 14. I think the Cowboys will go. I do believe the Falcons will trade down, but even so, Cowboys will get best player. The Cowboys will either get, I think, a left tackle in Rashawn Slater left tackle in Rashawn Slater, Penei Sewell, Elijah Vera Tucker, guys like that. They could get somebody like that. But I do think they'll get a corner just because that was worst ranked. They were the worst ranked secondary last year. And I do believe the Falcons will trade down, but if they don't, then I don't think the Broncos will get a corner either. So you could see if the Falcons do trade down, then you could see the Falcons getting a corner. So let's just say the Falcons get Patrick Surtain at 9. I do believe the Cowboys get 10 or a Rashawn Slater at 10. So where does that leave us? Well, you could see J.C. Horn going as early as number 11 to the Giants. I believe so. You could see him going as early as number 11 because the Giants, that is also a huge need. It stunk last year. Even though some people say, receiver, 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 heck no. Receiver is not the position right now. They just picked up Kenny Golladay. They just got a few very solid players. This is an important position to get. The reason why I would say receiver of the corner is just because that's, I think, their second best need, if not their first best need. So you could see him going as early as 11. You could see him going as early as 11, but then if you want to push it a little bit farther, I think 14. You get a guy. The Vikings need, I think, their biggest need right now is a pass rusher. You get a guy like that. So, hey guys, my camera's back on. I think it's working okay. So you get a guy like that, a pass rusher. You get a guy who can fill in, who can come in and be a very good pass rusher. I think, yes, you could see J.C. Horn going to the. You could see somebody like J.C. Horn going to the Vikings, but you could also see them going to get up a pass rusher since they did lose. Who did they lose? I guess they lost. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but they did lose 2 really good defensive linemen, and that's why I think he's their biggest need right now. So, do you go and pick up a corner or a pass rusher? It's hard to know what they're going to do, but I do believe pass rusher. So, here's the 3 options I do believe they will go. Number 11 to the Giants, number 12, number 14 to the Vikings, and number 16 to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals also need a corner because no Patrick Peterson. I mean, that's a huge need. Everson Griffin. There we go. Thank you. Everson Griffin. That is a huge need for them. I do believe that the Cardinals definitely, that was their weak point, their defense last year. They gave up a lot of points. But you also could see the Vikings trading up and getting. You also could see the Vikings trading up and getting a guy like. Let me see. You could see them trading up and getting. Well, yeah, you could see the Vikings getting scared that the Giants would pick J.C. Horn because J.C. Horn's a generational talent. And you could see them trading up from 14 to 11 and trading up with the Giants or trading up with the Cowboys if the Cowboys feel like they can get let's say they feel like they can get Rashawn Slater. Let's say they feel that they can get him at number 10 or something like that. No, number 14. Let's say the Cowboys feel that they can get him later on. Then maybe they trade down or something like that with the Vikings. So you could see him going 11, 10, even. Yeah, you could see him going 10, 11, 14. Or you could see him going 16. Now, I think the most likely thing that they're going to do is I think what they're going to do is they're going to maybe go up and pick maybe they'll go up and get I don't know. Maybe they'll go up and get a D lineman, the Vikings. That's why I think when it comes down to it, I do think J.C. Horn's going number 16 to the Cardinals. You could see that happening. I think that's a good place for him to go. But again, last year, I think really 2 corners, I think will go. Last year, this happened too. 2 corners went in the top 12, top 10. So you could see him dropping a little bit. And then, Falcons. But again, I think the Cardinals will go best player available. So if he's not there, then whatever. But yes, the next question I wanted to do is takeaways from the 49ers press conference. I'm pretty dang convinced that we're going to get Mac Jones. I really like Trey Lance, but unless Kyle Shanahan gets talked out of it, it's Mac Jones. And the saying, history repeats itself. Not your average sports kid. If in my future mock, I have the Vikings picking an edge rusher. That's what I've been saying, dude. Like, I do think Azeez Ojulari is good. And you don't want to pass up on a guy like that. He's speed, his agility, everything like that. You have to pick a guy like that to go number 14. Another thing, so back to my Mac Jones thing. I I really like Trey Lance. I want them to get Trey Lance. But will they really get it? Unless Kyle Shanahan for some reason, gets persuaded, then yes. But, I mean, yeah, the saying history repeats itself is completely right. You know? Kyle Shanahan pulled up the thing about Drew Brees in his press conference. That's a once in. I mean, just like people saying Mac Jones could be the next Drew Brees, Tom Brady. That is a once in 20 years draft. You don't get a guy like that most of the time. And no quarterback. That's the thing. Drew Brees and Mac Jones were from different colleges, dude. Like they were nobody out of Alabama has succeeded. That's what puts me off. The thing with North Dakota State is they are good. They have a history of developing quarterbacks for the NFL. Trey Lance has literally had a whole year to work with the coaches. Has gotten developed, I think, super good. It's just all the signs point Trey Lance, and the decisiveness is there, maybe a little bit over the middle. But honestly, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself: is it going to be is what is going to be the pick? Mac Jones or Trey Lance? And Mac Jones. This could be the short term answer, but I don't think it's the long term answer. I think there's too many signs. There's Trey Lance, pro style offense. They have a good time. The school has a good um they have a good time. Like they have developed quarterbacks. They have a history of doing it. It's just all the signs point there. And another really, 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 really clue that I got from this is, sorry guys, Mac Jones has played at Alabama for all 4 years. Who did he get beat out by? Jalen Hurts, number one. Number two, Tua. Tua is probably he's not a bust, but he's still not great. I just don't think. I mean, he literally was not. He was beaten out by guys like Tua and Jalen Hurts. What makes you think that he's going to beat out a guy, Jimmy Garoppolo or anybody else? What makes you think that? What makes you think that he's going to beat out anybody else when he couldn't even beat out Tua Tagovailoa? What makes you think that? I mean, that is the if you're yeah. So that's the biggest thing that I think is like that makes me question. But at the end of the day, it's Kyle Shanahan, and he might back down. There's a chance that he might back down, but man, I really hope it's Trey Lance. I really do. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's those are the three questions that I wanted to ask about the draft. I'll be back tomorrow. Pre-draft coverage, day 2. This was day 1. I hope you like the little spiel I gave on Mac Jones there at the end, that he couldn't even beat out 2 guys for 4 years. I really hope that you like guys like that little spiel, and Join me next time tomorrow. Again, join us on the draft party. Night one of the NFL draft, 8 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be there. We'll be there with the crew. So, again, subscribe to my channel, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.